Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome on into today's FreightWaves Now Community Spotlight. It's Friday, so that means that we are checking in with Mary O'Connell, host and writer of the Running on Ice show and newsletter. And I'm Kaylee Nix. Mary, thank you for joining us this morning. Today, we've got a pretty important topic here, warehouse agility. And this is something that we talk about a lot, flexibility, agility, and feasibility of your warehouse. Go ahead and talk to us a little bit about who you are working with today.
Yes, today we are jumping back into the Softian world of things, but this time we're talking to Shyam Krishna, and I'm very excited about that because we get into kind of the meat and potatoes of warehouse management systems. So you'll have, every warehouse has a system that they do to keep track of inventory, make sure that they know what's getting pulled that day, et cetera, et cetera. But then this time we really break down what's the difference between a traditional WMS system and what is an agile WMS system. And basically that agile part, for lack of a better comparison, is, all those dog agility things where they hop between the things and they go this way and then they go this way and then they go this way. That's basically making it so that way your warehouse management system can do that as well. Whether it's, diverting some stuff that's getting delayed due to weather or, switching at the last minute to send out some other kind of product. It's really kind of about how quickly can your warehouse management system help you make those decisions. Whereas in the past, sometimes with traditional WMS systems, there'll be a problem. There's a meeting about a meeting about a meeting. And then 3 months later, everybody makes a decision. The fact that your technology is there to help you facilitate those decisions out of faster, quicker things. You don't have to have six meetings about this one decision. That is infinitely crucial.
My dog likes to think that he's an agility dog, but really he's just like a wrecking ball in disguise. And that has no relation to WMSs, but I think that it's a fun fact that I wanted to share with the audience. Let's talk a little bit about cold chain and why cold chain is such a good candidate for these agile warehouse management systems. Is it because the cold chain space is really agile in itself and it's changing all of the time and different providers, different shippers, and it's really just a space that needs that flexibility?
Oh, absolutely. It is a space that needs that flexibility. And I think more and more people are kind of adapting to that agile kind of thinking because, ultimately cold chain, like we've said in the past, more often than not, whether it's an e-commerce or an e-commerce delivery or medicine or anything that you're getting, chances are you need it for a very specific reason and it needs to arrive in a very specific condition. Like we've said, jeans, if they sit in the desert, they're still going to be jeans and they're still going to work when you get them. But if you have medicine or a birthday cake that sits in the desert, it's going to be damaged and you're not going to be able to use it at all when it arrives. So being able to have your technology help you think on your feet, come up with different solutions, if you know that I need to send out this medicine, but I'm about to have a snowstorm that's going to lock down the city for 2 months, or not 2 months, for 2 days. Then I need to see if there's another warehouse in my network that has it that I can then turn around and say, okay, it's coming from there. And it's really just about adapting to the unknowns. And since, supply chain already is a whole business built on managing the unknown, having a solution for that in things that can't really sit in unknown temperatures or they can't sit in the unknown very long is absolutely crucial. And that's why cold chain just lends itself so nicely to this type of technology.
So deploying a warehouse management solution is something that isn't quite an easy job. And once you do it once, you want to make sure that you get it right so you don't have to do that whole deployment again. When you're looking at an agile solution versus a traditional WMS, does that give you more opportunity to be a little bit picky and a little bit more flexible with how you deploy it kind of like a choose your own adventure? I want this part, but not this part, but also this part and maybe not this part?
I think absolutely it does, because ultimately, when you're going, like you said, you don't want to implement a WMS system and then a year later have to re-implement another one. It's the same way that nobody wants to go through a TMS integration because it takes up so much time. You lose a lot of working time and ultimately everything kind of comes to a grinding halt, even if they say it's not supposed to. So I think the fact that if you do your due diligence, you get involved in it, and then you really customize it to work through your workflow, that's amazing. And then also being able to have the one good side of those agile WMSs is that after they've been implemented for a while, it's easy to come back and say, okay, well, now I want to add this customization. Now I want to add this, because through working with this, we've realized that there are some more things that we need to do, and there's some more things we want to add. So I think that, leaning heavily on that agility part of it is absolutely crucial. But again, it very much depends on what works for that business. But I would be shocked if in the future, not everyone is going to this.
So, Mary, you mentioned at the start of this that we are back in the Softion ecosystem for this episode. Talk to us a little bit about why they are an ideal partner for an Agile WMS and what this episode is kind of previewing with some of their technology and offerings.
Yeah, so the one really nice thing about Softion, and we covered it in the last episode, which you can go check out on our YouTube channel. But they're truly kind of software agnostic, and they will just say, okay, it doesn't matter what you already have. We'll go in and we'll do this, and it doesn't matter. They're able to work with anyone, which is really great, because then I don't have to sit there if I'm a shipper or a carrier or a 3PL or a freight broker. I don't have to sit there and kind of wade through, okay, well, I have this piece of technology for this, I have this piece of technology for this, and I have these and these. How do I find one partner to integrate with all of them? Because, you can't overhaul your entire tech stack just because you have a new warehouse management tool. So the fact that they truly are software agnostic and they can plug and play with anyone is absolutely a game changer.
We love it to see an option that plug and plays, as you mentioned, with anybody in the space. And for folks who want to get more on the Softion interview, maybe learn a little bit more about the space, where can they go to find Running on Ice this afternoon?
Well, just keep watching FreightWaves on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel, get the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. And you can, the new episode of the Softion will be out today at 2 p.m. Eastern. And that newsletter will be out today at 2 p.m. as well. So just keep watching it. And if there's nothing, airing, just watch some of the old episodes, because all of them are great.
There you go. All right, Mary, thanks for that. And we will catch up with you next week.
Thank you.